For more on this, let's go live to the Pakistani capital, Islamabad, to talk to our correspondent, Javed Rana. Javed, hi there. Thanks for being with us. What more can you tell us about this bailable arrest warrant issued by the court in Pakistan for Nawaz Sharif and his family?
Well, the court was left with no option but to issue a bailable arrest warrant. If he doesn't appear next time, that means the court would issue another non-bailable warrant, which means that whenever Nawaz Sharif returns Pakistan, upon his return, he would be arrested by the authorities and he would be produced before the court. Now, Nawaz Sharif has been outside Pakistan apparently to look after his ailing wife, but there are a lot of speculation in Pakistan and a lot of media reports which are suggesting that perhaps he is trying to influence country's establishment, which means the judiciary and the military, which has been behind this trial in one way or the other to get some concession from the courts. And there are also other credible reports which are suggesting that he is unlikely to get concessions because this time around it is the judiciary which has been calling shots, unlike back in 2000 when there was a military dictatorship in Pakistan and he was allowed to leave Pakistan despite corruption charges against him. So it is a very tough time, politically speaking, for Nawaz Sharif. If he doesn't return Pakistan, that means politically he would be doomed. His party would not be able to win the next coming elections. And if he returns home, there is a likely possibility that he would be convicted on corruption charges, on money laundering charges, which means that would not be in one way or the other bode well for his political future. So things are not going to be the way Nawaz Sharif thought would be.
And given what you just mentioned about the consequences for Nawaz Sharif and the future of his political party in Pakistan, what do you think will be the reactions, or have there already been reactions by his supporters and his party? And should we expect any unrest and street protests in Pakistan?
Well, Nawaz Sharif at one point of time was the darling of Pakistan's military. He was elected 3 times as a prime minister, and 3 times there was charges, serious charges of massive rigging in general elections. So the point I'm trying to make that he has always been an averagely popular leader, and we have seen that on the streets of Pakistan there was not a reaction, despite the fact that his party was governing in Punjab, the biggest province, and in the federal capital. The people who turned out in his favor on the streets, they were not very significant in number, and I don't expect that there would be any major reaction, harsh reaction from the public if he's convicted or if he is arrested.
And what's the reason for that, Javed?
The reason being is that he is a political leader who has always been supported by the military, which has now turned against him because of his clash on policy on strategic issues in the region. And since he has not been a popular leader, and more importantly, generally in Pakistan, the people do not go against the military because this is the state institution, and they know how important this particular state institution is. In Pakistan, this civil and military conflict discussion, generally it remains confined to intellectuals and the intelligentsia. It does not trickle down to the common people. And Nawaz Sharif has been blaming indirectly military for engineering a crisis against him. But that is, I would say, that the overall public resentment against Nawaz Sharif has been because of the fact that the opposition parties have managed to establish a corruption case against him. Public opinion is largely divided on political lines, and even his supporters, they would not come on the roads. Generally, they are businessmen, they're educated people, and they do not resort to violence. But nonetheless, he has a sport base in Pakistan, not to a point where they can resort to violence and can cause a problem for the military.
And a final question briefly, Javed. The arrest warrant issued by the court is not just for Sharif, as we gather here, but also for his daughter and his son-in-law. And Maryam Sharif has said that, quote, these proofs against the Sharif family are not being searched but being prepared. How true is that, and what are their fates?
Well, the court non-bailable warrants early on was issued against the son-in-law of the deposed prime minister. Now he is a free man. Overall, that the picture I would say developing in Pakistan, the ruling family is on the losing side, because this the Sharif house, the two brothers, his younger brother is ruling the biggest province of Punjab. They are divided, and his other brother and mainstream party leaders, they are utterly against him. They don't want to take on the military, because they know, they say that if you take on the military, that means that would not bode well for the future of Pakistan, because the military is a state institution, and there are already threats to Pakistan from India, and the Americans are also militarily threatening Pakistan.